Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to you from wherever you're watching us. This is Herman Manyora's YouTube channel, or of course, this is the Candid Talk. My name is Evans Okinyi. I'm glad that you're here with us. Let us look at the aftermath of the 20th match, actually what happened the other day. And my question would therefore be, there's something that actually took my attention. Before the grand march on, or rather the demonstration on 20th of March, the police, led by the Chief of Security in Nairobi, actually, Mr. Bungei, went ahead and said that the demonstrations were illegal, saying that these people actually gave them notice a little bit late and therefore they were not permitted. I mean, do people require permission from the police to demonstrate?
Yeah, the constitution, no. Initially you had to seek permission. And the police could say no. The provincial commission, the provincial administration and the police could say no. In the new constitution, we say no, that was wrong. We were curtailing people's freedoms, and we gave people the freedoms to picket, to go on strike, to demonstrate and engage like that. And I think Article 37 there, in order to compromise and contradict the provisions of that article, we said it will be mere notification. You just notify them. Because it might be necessary for the police to give directions, to escort the people, to protect looters from joining the other people who are well-intentioned. Other people can join you and cause mayhem. So the police will provide that kind of thing. So they say we notify the police. Notify. The word is notify. And the police must understand English. Notify is different from permission. Yeah.
Tell me about the public order kind of segment that actually requires, it kind of stipulates the manner in which all this should be done. And I understand that there was that sort of argument that when such kind of laws are brought in, and then the constitution definitely reigns supreme above it. Do you buy that idea?
You know, there's a problem. We have a new constitution. There are many laws within the statutes, acts of parliament, others in the penal code and so on and so forth. I'm not a lawyer. They ought to have been overtaken by the new constitution. But it's difficult for people sometimes to be in step. So you'll find people still applying some of the laws, some of them predating our independence. You know, some of them as early as 65, like this one of what? And so the constitution ought to be supreme. And while those laws may even be allowed to subsist within the new context of the new constitution, what is important is for us not to be pedantic, not to be overly concerned with the procedural issues, for example, which is what Bungei was doing. And the constitution itself sets that very clear. Let's not sacrifice substance on the altar of process. The process, due process. The main the substance of the law today is that you do not need anybody's permission to assemble. That's the substance of the law. Because like those university students who were arrested, which court can you take them? What will you charge them with?
By the way,
there can be no offense, because there's no such offense. Because you don't need anybody's permission to assemble. That's the substance. In order that Kenyans may enjoy what is provided for in their constitution, which they fought for. The freedom to assemble freely. The freedom to go on strike, to picket, to demonstrate peacefully, unarmed. That is the substance. The enabling administrative procedures or laws cannot override the substance, which is Kenyans have the freedom to assemble. If you go to the UK, go to London, people are just shouting in Hyde Park. People are always shouting outside the White House. I mean, people can shout anywhere they want. But so long as you are not going to the White House inside to mess in, but no, people just say, let this madman talk. Yeah. So the idea is human beings should be allowed to express their freedom, so long as, if it's demonstrations or picketing, they are not armed. They are not endangering anybody's life. They are not infringing on the freedoms of others. That is the basic principle. These others of you must notify the police would provide, that is That's just process, procedure.
Was Mr. Bungei justified
Out of order. He was out of
declaration
order.
of turning this
Bungei is out of order. He should go back and learn about our history, where we have come from.
I had
3 people being found talking, you go to jail. You are detained. We have come from that. I mean, we don't want to go back there. I understand Bungei was maybe following orders from somewhere. But even those issuing those kind of orders, they should not take us back where we have come from. We are enjoying these freedoms at a great cost. And we want to protect them. And we want to ensure Kenyans can enjoy. We want to reach where Americans are. Americans are enjoying their freedom. You get it? We want to reach there. You know, we don't want to be left behind. We want Kenyans to enjoy their freedom of assembly so long as you are not armed. You do not infringe on the benefits of other people, on the rights and freedoms of other people. You can express yourself freely. The police will be there too. So whereas the police may require 14 days, whatever notice, they say 14. But supposing something comes up today over which I must demonstrate tomorrow, which means I can't, I have to pend it until after 14. Do you see now how procedure can be comical, can be awkward, can be absurd. If you follow the procedure issue, the number of days you must give, then you will end up with some very absurd situation. Something is happening, we must demonstrate over it immediately. And you say we wait for 14 days.
No. before I actually saw before 20th, of course, I think that was on 19th. That was perhaps on a Sunday when the police came out to give that press statement. Of course, the same. I think it's on the same forum that Mr. Bungei termed these demonstrations illegal, and he said very well that 20th wouldn't be a holiday. He said that everything would be normal.
Was it?
No road would be blocked whatsoever. Everything would be normal. But then on the following day,
they blocked the roads.
They blocked the roads, and
the demonstration took place. A holiday was effected. So you see again, I want to advise government and people like Bungei. A cardinal principle about issuing orders or ultimatum, it must be something you can follow through. Something you have the power and you can sanction. If I order you not to do something, I must have the power to effect that order. And the circumstances must allow me to effect that order. And secondly, if you violate, I should have the power to punish you. So what power did Bungei have? Not to stop the rioters, not to reinstate the holiday which was given. I mean, not to remove the state of the holiday, not to punish anybody. You are the loser. You come out badly. My advice to government, because this is a government I love. People like Bungei are good people. I must advise them. Don't say things you cannot follow through. You can't stop people from rioting, and you say you are stopping them. You can't punish them if they go to riot. So you may pick a few small innocent people. Umalizia hasira yao kwao, but the people behind it, Raila, why don't you arrest them?
Talk to me about the police kind of decision to actually block the road leading out of Kibra to ensure that those people did not actually troop all the way to the CBD. Was it is it logical for them to do that? Because those people woke up and then all of a sudden they couldn't actually leave.
Kibra is home to tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people, tens of thousands of young people. Do you have the capacity to block them? And the moment people see police, they get very excited. I've said this before. I said at the university, when students riot and you leave them alone, they just sing, say, comrades power, and they go home. But once they see the police, if they were 50, they become 500 in 10 minutes. You charge the crowds. So if on Monday, Bungei and his team had left Raila alone, Raila would not have been as successful as he was. It's simple, simple. And again, a show of might rarely helps. Not in the 21st century.
A very unfortunate turn of events at Maseno University, Prof. Of course, we saw one of the students lose his life down there. Is it right for the police, even in as much as they were trying to disperse these students who are protesting at that particular time, to shoot or rather live bullets at the students? Are they allowed to use?
How would you use a live bullet on anybody who is unarmed and demonstrating? why do you even begin to imagine? And I want to warn people this country. You know, I keep saying I love this country. Perhaps people don't know how much. This is a country I love. The day I said on this show that I could leave this country if I was young, I didn't sleep that day. It really haunted me. That to reach to a point where I'm saying I could leave this country. So I'm telling these people to be careful. You couldn't ban the country very easily. It's not a very difficult thing. Let me give you an example. And I want the police, because I know people listen to what I say. I want the police and the intelligence to listen. When the police shoot at somebody, and it happened in 2007, I think it was 2000, one of those years, I think 2007. It was a Kalenjin policeman who had shot the man who was dancing, just dancing, mocking the police. The police are chasing boys in the estate in Kisumu. And one of them is dancing and dancing. And the police are getting irritated. Then one of them shot. He was actually arrested, later and tried. I don't know what. That man was a Kalenjin, the police. And I want the intelligence to listen to me. Because this is our country. That was a Kalenjin. It's only good luck that the Kalenjin at that time were working together with the Luos. But supposing the person who then shoots somebody is a Kalenjin, like now. In that stupid excitement, or you think you are protecting what you are being foolish, and you pull a trigger and you kill a boy in Maseno, in the deep of Lowland, and you are a Kalenjin policeman. So you want to ban the country. These people must listen to me. They must listen to me. They must listen to me. Because we are playing with danger. In the first place, what are you doing with a gun that has live bullets? What are you going to do in a university, for example, when students are just making unusual noise? What is your concern? But it can turn out innocently that policeman, like it was in 2007, is a Kalenjin. The people say Ruto has sent Kalenjin policeman to come and finish us. And one thing leads to another and another, and you have no country. We must stop this nonsense. This is nonsense, and we have to stop it. Why do you go to university? What are you going to do with university students? And we know young people are easily excitable. They get charged quickly. They even find it fun. Because I teach at the university. Most of it I can see from my window up there when they are chasing the... It's just fun. They think it is fun. Hii damu young inakimbia kwa mwili. So unapeleka huku bunduki ya nini?
And then
why don't you go to where they are, if you are a man? Why don't you go where they are bandits? Go and show how much of a man you are. Go and look after those bandits. Upigwe hata wewe uone. Why do you go where young people are? The parent has taken this young kid to go and read. They are just shouting like any other young. We were all young. We all did those things. We all got excited. This is typical of youth. So if they are saying comrades power, what, so Ruto must go, what is it? When Ruto ataenda sababu wanafunzi wamesema Ruto must go. They'll just make noise and they go back and they feel hungry, they go and eat and sleep. Yeah.
And of course, we saw the kind of activities that took place there immediately after the death of one William Mays, soul rest in peace, definitely. Now the students decided now to go on a full swing of protesting and rioting. Now, of course, now they were demonstrating for the killing of one of their own. And
was it necessary?
The situation was very messed down.
That is one life too many. The pain that the family must be going through, surely, let us also think about other people. The pain, I have lost people, I know what it means to lose somebody. And you can imagine the multiplicity of the pain if it has occurred in that manner. If somebody dies through natural causes or an accident, you feel the pain. How much more pain to know that your son or daughter died senselessly from some stupid policeman.
Why do you think the Kenya Kwanza side still finds it very easy to blame the Right Honorable Raila Odinga even on the death of that boy at the University of Nairobi?
Now, how do you blame Raila?
Saying that had you not...
Did Raila send people there? Did Raila send the police there?
They called off the
The people are responding to what Kenya Kwanza has done or not done. Therefore, if you are looking for blame, and I've made it very clear, this is not the time for us as a country to look for people to blame. No. This is a time for us to sit together because this country is too good to go down. To sit together as brothers and sisters with a common destiny. We fail, we all fail. We win, we all win. It's not time for blame. But even if we were to be as stupid as that and begin blaming, who will we blame? We will blame Kenya Kwanza. They are the ones who are making life unbearable to the people of this country.
The big question now here comes...
They are the ones who have not kept their promises that they made to people.
The question here comes about here. Is the country at a position whereby people can demonstrate and express their views in whichever manner they deem right without interfering with any life of any person,
of course,
without having to die the way we saw that take place there?
And let me tell you this for a fact. If the police had allowed Azimio to demonstrate on Monday, nothing would have happened in terms of loss of property or of life or even breakage, even one. It is the police who forced the people to do the things they did. Let me use a very good example. On the 30th of January in the year 2018, hundreds of thousands of people gathered in Uhuru Park to witness the people's president take an oath. Was there a single life that was lost?
Not in the country.
Was there a single injury? Was there a person who was scratched? People only felt the heat because the people were many. Was there a single glass that was broken in Nairobi? Even as the hundreds of thousands of people now dispersed from Uhuru Park, having witnessed Raila swearing in. Nothing. Let the police bring the record of one breakage. So it is them. Therefore, if you are looking for someone to blame for the mayhem, you can only place it to the police and ultimately to the Kenya Kwanza government that thinks you can show how tough you are. And I've advised them for free. Government does not have the power to manage society. No government has. No. That is gone. That's of yesterday. Society is stronger than government. The state is weaker than society. And the only thing there is, the state and society are engaged continuously in a negotiation of coexistence. We are back to the days of Ruto, the philosopher, that you negotiate for power. The citizens surrender their power to you through a negotiated process. That's how constitutions and other things come in. So this process of negotiation between state and society, between government and the people, between the ruling party and the other political players, is a negotiation process, not a process of force. No, you cannot use force to rule or to govern anywhere in the world today. You can't. It's gone. It used to be there. The world has changed. Basically because the first thing that made people succumb to government pressure and oppression was the information. Government had the monopoly over information in terms of processing and flow. Now people have more information, and the information moves much faster among the population than the government. By the guys on Thika Road are getting information. People already have the information. So it's no, government cannot hold any information. There's no information for government to hold. Okay? What there is government to manage information. And in the process, manage the coexistence between the government and the opposition, government and the people, state and the society. It's a process of negotiation so that people can coexist. Yes.
Allow me to stop this conversation again at this particular moment, but of course do not fail to tune into some of our programs that we are bringing here next. Definitely with how things are getting around this country, we have Professor here. He'll always be able to help us demystify and understand some of the intrigues that are taking place, but we still say and insist that Kenya is too good to go down. We do not want to witness anything taking place bad in the country. We want to go through the right direction. Jedel Kabiro will be coming here live this evening, of course. Richard Mwenje as well. All these are productions of the Nairobi Review. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Evan Sokinyi. Such a pleasure having you on board.